what if ideas are a life form? Because everything that exists that human beings have created, just think about the fucking immense amount of objects that we've created. All of them came from ideas.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
And we think of, this is my idea. I had this idea. But we both know that ideas are very strange. They come to you in the weirdest of ways. It's the reason why people believe in the muse. It's the reason why Pressfield's book, The War of Art, is so good.
Yeah.
Because when he documents this sort of journey that he goes on every day when he writes, where he summons the muse.
Yeah.
He does it like, and he is, in his mind, no, it's a real thing. And then starts to write. And treats it like a ritual. Like you're going to be there all the time. What is happening there? Like what are you summoning when you get these ideas? Whether it's summoning something that's a creative work like literature, or whether it's the invention that changes society forever.
Right.
Like all of them came from ideas.
Yeah, and a lot of them, like the great ideas, like Tesla, he just openly admits it came to him in a vision.
Yeah.
He saw it. Like, he doesn't even ascribe it to his own mind. It was like a vision.
Don't you feel that way about some of your best jokes? That they just pop into your head?
Yeah, but you know what's weird about Tesla? And I'm sorry, you guys, if I'm wrong about this, but I read it and was blown away. And I think it was on his Wikipedia, but I could be wrong. Apparently, he was thinking about Faust when he had the vision. Now, I hope I'm not wrong about that,
Really?
you guys. Jamie, would you mind? I'm sorry, dude. I could be wrong, and I'm sorry, y'all, if I am. But so Faust is about, an alchemist who makes
How poetry inspired Tesla to design one of his most important inventions. What's that? There it is.
Faust.
Yeah, one of the lesser known facts about Tesla is that he was also a great fan of poetry. It was an expert of
Goethe's. I think
Goethe's Faust that inspired him to finalize his invention of the alternating current motor. The term world-changing invention certainly applies to this innovation.
So what inspired that was a poem. I thought it was a poem about an alchemist selling his soul to the devil. So all of modern technology originated from the inspiration that he derived from a poem about a satanic bargain.
Whoa.
Isn't that wild?
The Faustian bargain.
The Faustian bargain was according to the person who invented it, was the inspiration for technology that we are still using today. So then you go back and you think, well, what inspired Goethe? And then you realize it's like this crazy wave of, it ripples through time. Somebody gets a great gets inspired, writes it down. It's beautiful. I don't know how long passed between when he wrote that and Tesla had his vision, but certainly, obviously, Goethe probably had no idea that when he spent the time writing that thing and trusted to write it down, he was going to warp the entire planet. His poem was going to ripple out and warp the entire planet just from a poem. That's wild, man.
Whew.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts? Especially, it's so meta.
You weren't wrong. It is a play, but it's written in verse. So it is a poetry also.
Gotcha.
Wow. 1808.
1808. Someone writes a cool poem about selling your soul to the devil. Cut to now, there's self-driving cars. Holy fucking shit.
Oh my God. Ideas are strange. Even back to the club, the idea of the club.
Yeah.
When we were all talking about doing it, these ideas were just like, and then we could do this, and then we could do that. Yeah. Should we have this? Should we have that? Yeah. And we spent a fucking year and a half doing this. It was a long process before it actually got built.
Well, that's the problem with ideas. It's like they mimic, and I'm not just saying this because my wife's pregnant, they mimic childbirth in the sense that there's some kind of gestation period. That's you're inseminated with your inspiration.
Yeah.
Then you got to start growing it, and then the phases of growing it can be like really torturous and long, and like somewhere in there you're like, this sucks. Like, this is really the dumbest thing of all time. And then you keep working on it, and maybe you realize that's true, or you fix it. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
But that, you know, that is why so many people, I think, are like letting inspiration come all over their face, but not letting it inside.
Well, I always tell people that the way I try to think about things is bandwidth. I try to think about, I pretend there's a number. Let's say that number is 100. I have 100 units that I have for my information, for what I'm allowed to think about, what I can use my brain for. Anytime I put stuff in there that's nonsense, anytime I put stuff in there that's negative or unproductive, or at least unless it's funny.
Yeah,
anytime I'm putting stuff in there, that's taking away from all my other stuff. And one thing that people need to understand is that one of the things your brain will do to protect yourself from, whether it's the pressure of success or succeeding or accomplishing things, your brain will, when you're presented with the stress of trying to accomplish something, it will put extra emphasis on all these stupid things in your life to distract you.
Yes.
And it almost like protects you from the stress of having to do the work. And you see people sabotage their lives, sabotage their careers. You see it happen to artists, musicians, fighters, comedians. Sure. It's a normal thing that we do just as human beings. You get freaked out by what you know you should do, so you spend more time paying attention to the things that you shouldn't do.
Yeah, man.
Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage. And
it's very real.
Very real. And based, at least my own assessment of it, it's based on the delusion that the feeling of procrastination is less painful than the feeling of doing your work. And it's the opposite. Like procrastination, you spread it out across your life, like your weeks. You just spread this nice, shitty coating of procrastination, mild anxiety, general like sense of like, oh, I'm a piece of shit because you're not doing it. And then when you finally get around to doing it, you realize the thing you didn't want to do is so fun most of the time.
Most of the time.
Engaging, interesting, but if nothing else, you feel so much better